But the time has come to tell the world that we should not put up with it anymore. We must be treated as human beings, and you must stand up for that. And the only time that you can be treated as a human being, let them know that you are a human being. You are not just something that you turn off or you turn on.
Let there be light.
You see, do you have the answer? Now this morning we planted seeds in the mind of the people just to be conscious of the things that we say. There's an answer for everything in life. All we gotta do is just sit and reason it out. But if you say to a brother, change your life, you must be able to give the answer how to change your life. So we can talk and talk and talk, and we can talk the nonsense. But do you have something to give to the people? What program, what apparatus are you going to give? There is a serious problem that our people face night and day. I don't think our brothers and sisters want the children not to eat. And when we look on the table, there is nothing on the table. I don't think a mother seriously want a child to suffer, want children to suffer, and this is the reality. If we tell people to stop complaining, then you must have the answer to give to that person. And if you don't have the answer, you shut up. That is how serious we must take it. If you don't have the answer to give to the brother, if you don't have an answer for the sister, you see, we can talk and talk and talk. We can always say stop. We can always say don't do this. We can always say your life can be better. Well, I don't want to hear my life can be better. Show me how my life can be better. Because you ever figure some people might not have the capability to reason and just reality. Because if we all have the same capacity, then there will not be need for a society. There's a reason why we got a society. There's a reason why we have democracy. There's a reason why we come together as a people and say, let's build a nation. Because no man cannot do it by themselves. And when you think that you can do it by yourself, you will end up in always being in that ghetto and shantytown. And you will always have that attitude towards life. So that is why it's always a need for our people to come together. This is the answer I'm giving to my brother. There are some people cannot work by themselves. And there are people can work by themselves and survive. There's a word called democracy. There's a word called unity. There's a reason for that word. So when we put our minds together, when we put our people together, we shall unite, and when we unite, our people shall lift themselves up. That is just reality. And again, I'm going to say to you, we must not tell people just stop. We must not say, don't blame this one. There's always someone to blame. Either yourself or the devil. That is a reality. And if you're going to blame yourself, go into that, why am I blaming myself? When I come from the university, I expect a certain job. Because this was promised to us. If you go to the university, you are guaranteed to have a job. But when you leave that university, you find out there is not a job for you. There is no space for you. So now you have to go to United States, Canada, looking for jobs. And sometimes education, we're talking about third world countries. Depends on your education, they might not have the type of job for you. You might just have to go to London. You might just have to go to the United States. And this is a reality, the type of education that you get. But many people, we don't see it that way. We don't look at it this way. It's easy to say stop. And don't have the answer to give to the brother. You can say stop. Of course you can say stop doing what you're doing. But give us the answer. Give us the answer, why should you stop? And give us the apparatus to continue the journey of life without committing crime to survive. And many people today are committing crime to thinking that is the only way to survive. Depends on your education. Depends on your outlook of life. You may see crime as a result for you to survive. If you don't have the proper apparatus, that is what you're going to do. A man with a proper education will always know to himself there are different ways to go around that one thing. There are different ways to survive. There are different ways that we go about surviving. So I always say to my people, in order to change that narrative, in order to change your understanding, change the mind. But you must not make someone say stop. It's like telling someone stop being poor. How can you say someone stop being poor and the mindset is the same? We must wake up. It's always good to say be good. We can always beat someone when they're going out of hand. We can always slap them around to be good children in society. Not realizing that you are creating the mindset. And if that is what you know, a slap, a kick, that is what you're going to do when you grow to be a certain age, a certain person in society, and when you cannot get what you want, you turn to the worst. But nobody want to be in a certain predicament. That idea of being poor. We're not even talking about the junkies outside there. The ones who in crack cocaine, the ones who in drugs. We're not talking about that part of the society. We're not even talking about them. We are just talking about the brothers and sisters who want the best of life, who go to the university public. And just some of us who just jump out of school, don't feel a need for education. We're not talking about the brothers who are using drugs, who are freak out on cocaine, because they find that to solve the problem, they don't want to face the reality, so they end up in drugs. For what type of escape, or what people are trying to escape? There are different reasons why someone end up on drugs. Nobody end up on the street for the same reason. No one end up in prison for the same reason. So we as Africans, we must be able to give an answer. It's a responsibility, because once we start judging one another, then it makes you the enemy. Let me say it again. Once you keep judging one another without saying this is the answer, then it makes you no different from the enemy who created the problem in the first place. There is a problem, and the problem was not created by our people. It's the same thing today. If you go back in the 60s, we talk about opportunities. That is what we talk about back then. The opportunities that we're going to fight for freedom and liberty. Now you get the education, but you don't have the job. Because everyone is rushing for the same job that you are rushing for. Because you're all educated in the same place. So it's like a rush for jobs. And nobody going to go to school and look for the worst. And everyone want the best, so everyone is struggling for the same best. It's like a rat race. So I say to you, and I will always say to you, if you're going to criticize a nation for being what they are, then you must be good criticism. Give us the answer in order to rise as a people. Give us the answer. Just don't say to our people, stop looting, stealing, and all of those things. Because that will make you the enemy. Without you realizing it, you might want to be good or think that you are doing good by saying, stop. Because once you take that position, you automatically giving yourself leadership. And yes, there is something as bad leadership and good leadership. And it shows that you are a bad leader. You might not want to be a bad leader. You might think that is in the best interest to say do good. But you are doing much damage when you do things like that. It's like someone reading the scripture and it's talking about the Bible. It's easy to read the scripture. But when we ask for the symbol and symbolism, you cannot give it to us. And so many people are reading the scripture because someone say to them, anyone can read the Bible. Which I don't believe. Well, if anyone can read the Bible, why is it they're not telling us or giving us the parables about Revelation and things to come? Why is it so many clergymen and clergywomen are still struggling with Revelation? Because if you have an answer and this one have an answer, everyone have a different answer, that means we are struggling. So it means to say not everyone can read the Bible with understanding to know what's going on in the world today. So when we read the scripture or the Revelation, we must know what Revelation is saying to us. You must understand what Revelation is saying to our people. But if we are guessing, that means to say you don't know what's going on. You don't understand the Bible. It means to say not everyone can read what's in the Bible. Yes? Go ask any scholar. You can sit with the European scholars and ask them to explain Revelation. They cannot give Revelation to you. They're still questioning the Bible after all of these years. But what you must question is yourself. I'm making this easy for you. It's not the Bible you got to question, it's to question yourself. And in order to do that, we must do that introspection on self. Because you cannot question something if you don't know yourself. Because all of your question is just going to be biased. And with whose mind are you questioning things? So we can talk about it. It's easy to say, stop. But if I don't give you an answer or show you, don't do it. Because everyone can say stop. But not everyone can give you an answer. that works for you. That is why we are struggling as a nation today. We all know that we have a problem, at least the conscious ones. If you're not conscious, you will not see it. That means to say your cup is half full. But we are talking about the consciousness of our people and seeing the game that is still playing in the nation. And if you're not brilliant or you're not intelligent enough, you will not see the game that they're playing on you. And I think that is a problem if you're not spiritual, to see the devil how he plays his game. Because the game is playing so slick, so wise, that it misses you sometimes. And I think that is a problem until our people rise to that understanding of spirituality. Then we will still see the same game, because the enemy, the devil, does shift and you are still in the same predicament. It's like, just imagine the Europeans came to America killing all the Indians, and the Indians today are still fighting with bow and arrow as they fight long centuries ago. That means to say he changed the game, but you are still playing the same game. So he always be in front of you, because he also is the master of games, manipulation, and many of our people are still seeing the past, and we are still reasoning on the past. But you must look at the future and ask yourself, do you got the right apparatus to play the game? Do you get the right apparatus for your future? Do you get the right apparatus to move your people in a society with science? Do you get that type of apparatus? So when they come at you, you can figure the game. Can you play? Can you stand in the ring with this demon? I don't think you are ready to stand in the ring. You're not ready for the fight. You don't even know it's a war. You don't even know it's a fight. A spiritual fight, as the Bible let us know. So I'm taking you there to say we can say stop. But when the human mind is messed up, contorted, it's not easy to fix. As a vehicle, you can just turn on or turn off that vehicle. The human mind are much more complex. We must understand the human mind. We are deeper than just a motor vehicle that you can turn on or turn off. If it was that easy that you can turn off the human being and turn on the human being, there would be no need for psychiatrists. We wouldn't have a problem in the world. But because we are human beings and we are free to think as we want to think, and our minds are scattered. As a nation that is scattered today, it's not that easy to turn off and turn on. Our people are not robots, we are human beings with human needs. That is what we must understand. But they want to treat us like we are some type of machine. They can beat you to the ground. They can do you all type of wicked things. and then turn you off. That shows us today in the society, they still don't respect you as a human being. They still don't consider you a human being. That they can turn you off and turn you on. They can shut you up. They can make you talk when you don't want to talk. Rather, to give you the opportunity to grow to your fruition as a man or woman. That opportunity is still not given to you once they tell you you can stop. That is what they are saying to you, that you are a robot. You are just a piece of machine. Well, we are much more than machines. We are much more than computers. We are human to survive, and if we have to survive, we must be in this type of mindset to always fight for humanity, because they still don't see you as a human being. And if they don't see you as a human being, that means to say they see you as nothing. You're just something to turn off. They can slap you around for 400 years until you shut up. But yet we see, when it comes to their people, they have the right to exercise their problems and give it to the world. They have the right to freedom of speech, when you should shut up as an African and just take it. But other cultures of the world can talk and talk and talk, and it's all right. And because they look at them as human beings. But they still look at our people that we are not humans. That we are just dogs and cats and animals. That they can tell you shut up and stop crying and sit in a corner. But the time has come to tell the world that we should not put up with it anymore. We must be treated as human beings, and you must stand up for that. And the only time that you can be treated as a human being, let them know that you are a human being. You are not just something that you turn off or you turn on. And they can slap you around and send you in a corner to sit, shut your mouth. You are a human being with feelings, with emotions, that we must stop playing the games. That we have the same pain that when one of our people die, the same pain that you get for your people. It's the same pain. So why treat us like we should just shut up and stop it? You see, they created a situation for you to fall into that situation. And sometimes I'm talking to my brothers and sisters. I'm not talking to anyone right now. And how we treat one another. It's easy to say, stop blaming Satan, when Satan still get a whip on your back. This is the days of the plantation. The rest of slaves used to say, take it as a man. Take the licks. Go and pick up the cottons or cut the cane. You're not supposed to cry when master beating you, or when the sun is burning your back. We're not supposed to share a tear or express sorrow or weakness on the plantation. Master can beat you over and over in the burning sun, like you were just a cattle, a bull, a cow. And we say to one another, shut up, take it, you're causing trouble. And some of the women, the fingers will bleed, picking the cotton in the burning sun, and you will say, shut up, because you don't see them as human beings. So we are seeing the leftover of a cycle of a people, and we can still say to one another, shut up, because they feel that you can turn you on or turn you off. I'm talking to my people. That is attitude we develop for one another. We can turn it off and turn it on. Shut your mouth and keep on working and take something. If it's a little bit, take it still. But I'm here today to say to you, you don't have to take the little bit anymore. You can say, go to hell with that. That today that we won the full cup. But it still gets some people on the plantation saying to you, it's your fault. Turn you on and turn you off. You can take the burden in the sun, and the sun, while the sun blaze you on your skin, burning you up. But it doesn't matter to them, because you are not a human being. All of this we must push aside, because we still don't see one another as human beings. I'm talking to my people. This is attitude that we develop. This is attitude we still get today. The same attitude on the plantation is the same attitude today. Shut up, go in a corner, sit, take it as a man. Where's the voice of our people? Where's the cry? That when I see brothers are shooting one another in the ghettos and shantytown, it's easy to say, shut up, or turn them off. Where's the voice? Are you not a human being to have this pain? And you know, when you cannot beat the one that oppressing you, we turn on one another. But when we say to our people, don't blame anyone for your downfall, what you are saying, we are all the same. You see, you say it and you're not conscious of what you're saying. I know. Because many of the times we say things and we're not conscious of what we are saying. When we put everyone in the same basket, that is what the slave master have done to our culture, so we're just repeating that over and over and over. We see one another as the same. So in order to rise, we must understand this. We must understand it from our perspective, and not what they tell you about you, or until we begin to see one another as human beings. Maybe we need to leave out the man and see one another as human beings. And that human being have a tear, and the teardrops can fall to the ground. And that human being can pain if you beat that human being. That human being got a mind. And you just can't shut up. Because if we should do that to one another, it makes us the same as the oppressor without a feeling and a concern for your brother or for one another. And that is what we've been doing with the same expression. That if your brother should cry, you say, shut up. That's not manly. And if your sister should be in pain, you tell her, take it as a woman. She's not supposed to have a tear. That's the society they have created for us. It makes us not human. And we are human beings. And we need to be treated as such, as human beings. And many of us, we don't want to acknowledge this because we have the mind of the oppressor. We still get the mind of the oppressor. Or you bring it on yourself. No. Before we blame someone, let's get to know that one. Before we criticize that person, get to know that person. But you don't want to take the time to know that person. It's easier to criticize that person. It's easier to drag a brother in the mud. It's easier to drag a sister in the mud without knowing a story. It's easy to do. So let's wake up once again. First rudiment, first inception, let's see one another as human beings. And if we cannot see, or you cannot see your brother or sister as a human being, then you are not a brother. You are not one of us. It makes you not a human being. It makes you the fallen angel. It makes you a devil. It's easy to say, get up. And in reality, that is what you're doing. You're turning that person off. Forgetting that's a human being. Our people are not machines, just to turn us off or turn us on. Until that day come in your society, when we can look at one another as a human being, in order to change it. You cannot change it if you become the oppressor. To oppress your people in the same way. Then the fight become much more difficult. We refuse to treat one another like human beings. So we can blame it on religion, or we can blame it on cultures of the world, and that is easy to do. To say this is your fault, is your religion, what is keeping you back. You see, the communists in Russia thought to themselves, if they get rid of the religion, they will fix the problem of the world. Well, that was proven wrong. That is what the Russians was thinking. If they get rid of your religion, they will get rid of the problem. So we discover that was a lie. And the Russians get rid of all the religion, and the problem of man still remains. We must wake up. So I'm saying to you, you may feel that is your religion. You may feel that it's the God that they serve that is keeping them back. As many are saying today, it's a white man religion that is keeping the black man from progressing. We know that's a lie, because the Russians prove that it's a lie. You can take away a man's religion and don't have to grow. You can take away his God and he can still be in the same predicament. You can give him freedom and liberty and he will still be in the same mindset. You can win all the money you want or get all the money you desire or work for all the money you desire and still have the same mindset. You can go around from religion to religion and still have the same mindset. You can be a pagan and still have the same mindset. So what I'm saying to you, that the Russians prove what I'm saying. You can take away the religion of the people and have the same mindset. So we understanding it's not your religion. It's not your church. It's not your God. It's not your education, because the Russians thought they was giving the people a different type of education. An education of liberation. Not knowing that the people remain in poverty. So what we end up, or what they end up with in Russia, it's a lot of gangs and uncontrolled people. And it's still fighting one another today. As the Russian crumble and the Communist Party crumble to the ground, they're still fighting for survival. So I'm saying to you, you can take away the black man God. You can take away the black man religion. You can take away his identity. And we'll be still living in poverty. Yes? If that is your understanding of freedom to take away his religion, I'm saying to you it will not work. I'm telling you it will not work. It did not work in Russia, did not work in Cuba, did not work in Africa. So I'm giving you a reality of what you are saying. And you are saying that if you should take away the black man religion, that he will rise. Don't work so. Because you see, the human being is not a machine that you can turn off and turn on. And that is what you are thinking. You are thinking like the oppressor, that you can turn off the black man and turn on the black man. Or you can turn off the black sister and turn she on when you want to. Not going to work. That is an illusion that you are doing. By feeling that if we don't have Christianity, our people are going to rise. You are making the same mistake as Karl Marx. That's all you got to do. Look into the Russian history and culture. For us to rise as a people, because you know I just don't believe in saying stop without giving an answer or giving you that thing that we should rise together as a nation You taking away Christianity don't mean anything. So I can show you philosophy, your ideology are contorted. Just as you are, your mind are contorted, your ideology, your philosophy are contorted. When it comes to the Africans, so let's rise together in one body. You may disagree with this, and you're all right to disagree. We are not communists like you, to tell people what to do or what to pray or who to pray to, or what to worship, what not to worship. That's not us. But that is man thinking that if you should take away the religion, we will do better. That's why Karl Marx said, religion is like the white powder. What a fool. That it proved that he was wrong. That is what we should observe and watch and see. Their mistake, that we don't do the same mistake. That you can take away the religion don't mean that they're going to grow. Or you become wiser. All of a sudden I take away your religion and you become wise. Why are you going to take away someone's religion and they become wise in the daytime? You see, that is what you were saying. So Karl Marx had this ideology, his philosophy, that if you should take away his religion, that all of Europe will become great. Yes? So let's look at Karl Marx and see the misconception and that preconception at the same time. That fool. I can say it. Try to save the European by giving him communists. What a fool. What a stupid person. And some of our people in the ghetto running on the internet thinking that if the black man give up his Christianity, that they're going to be safe. Safe from what?
Light.